Bali, Indonesia. Bali is an island and province of Indonesia. The province consists of the island of Bali and some smaller neighboring islands, especially Nusa Penida, Nusa Lembongan, and Nusa Saningan. It is located on the westernmost end of the Lesser Sunda Islands, among Java to the west and Lombok to the east. Its capital, Denpasar, is placed within the southern part of the island. Bali is a famous tourist destination, which has seen a significant rise in travelers since the 1980s. Tourism-associated business makes up 80% of its economy. It is renowned for its highly developed arts, which include traditional and modern dance, sculpture, painting, leather, metalworking, and music. Each year the Indonesian International Film Festival is held in Bali. Bali was inhabited around 2000 BC by Austronesian people, who migrated firstly from Southeast Asia and Oceania through maritime Southeast Asia. Paris, France. Paris is the capital and most populous town of France, with an administrative limits region of 105 square kilometers, 41 square miles. The name Paris is derived from its early inhabitants, the Celtic Parisite tribe. The city's name isn't always associated with the Paris of Greek mythology. Paris is frequently known as the City of Light. Paris is particularly known for its museums and architectural landmarks. The Louvre was the most visited art museum in the world in 2016, with 7.4 million tourists. The Musée d'Orsay and Musée de l'Orangerie are noted for their collections of French Impressionist artwork. And the Pompidou Centre Musée National d'Art Moderne has the biggest collection of modern and contemporary art in Europe. Tourism in Paris continued to suffer in 2016. After terrorist assaults in Paris in 2015 and an attack in 2016, the number of overseas tourists in Grand Paris dropped by 11.5% in 2016. The town's top tourist attraction was the Notre Dame Cathedral, which welcomed 12 million tourists in 2016. The Louvre Museum had 7.3 million tourists in 2016, making it the second most visited art museum in the world, after the Louvre. The opposite top museums in Paris in 2016 were the Centre Pompidou, 3.3 million traffic, Musée d'Orsay, 3 million tourists, and the National Museum of Natural History, 1.5 million tourists. Other top sites in 2016 were the Basilique du Sacré-Cœur, 10 million tourists, the Eiffel Tower, 5.9 million tourists, and the Arc de Triomphe, 1.3 million traffic. Venice, Italy. Venice is a city in northeastern Italy, and the capital of the Veneto area. It is arranged over gathering of 118 little islands that are isolated by canals and connected by bridges, of which there are 400. The islands are situated in the shallow Venetian lagoon. Venice is a critical traveler goal for its architecture, design and celebrated art. The city gets up to 60,000 sightseers for each day. 2017 estimate. Yearly estimate number of travelers differ from 22 million to 30 million. This makes overcrowding and ecological issues in its channel ecosystem. By 2017, UNESCO was thinking about the extension of Venice to its in danger list, which consists historical ruins in war-torn nations, to decrease the quantity of tourists that are causing irreversible changes in Venice. Agency supports restricting the quantity of cruise ships, and additionally making a full methodology for a more manageable tourism. Today, there are various attractions in Venice, for example, St. Mark's Basilica, the Doge's Palace, the Grand Canal, and the Piazza San Marco. Cape Town, South Africa. Cape Town is a coastal town in South Africa. It smiles the second maximum populous urban region in South Africa after Johannesburg. It is also the capital and primate metropolis of the Western Cape province. The town is well known for its harbour, for its natural placing in the Cape floristic area, and for such famous landmarks as Desk Mountain and Cape Point. As of 2014, it's far the 10th most populous town in Africa, and home to 64% of the Western Cape's populace. Positioned at the shore of Table Bay, Cape Town becomes first evolved via the Dutch East India Corporation as a victualling deliver station for Dutch ships cruising to East Africa, India, and the Far East. Cape City turned into the home to many leaders of the anti-apartheid motion. On Robben Island, many well-known political prisoners have been held for years. In one of the maximum famous moments marking the end of apartheid, Nelson Mandela made his first public speech due to the fact his imprisonment, from the balcony of Cape City Metropolis Hall hours after being released on 11 February 1990. Cape City isn't always best popular international vacation spot in South Africa. However, Africa as a whole. This is because of its excellent climate, the herbal setting, and well-advanced infrastructure. Many travelers additionally go to Cape Metropolis's beaches. That is famous with nearby citizens. Due to the town's precise geography, it's far viable to go to numerous unique beaches in the identical day, every with a unique putting and atmosphere. Oia, Santorini, Greece. Oia is a little town and former community in the South Aegean on the islands of Thera, Santorini, and Thracia, in the Cyclades, Greece. The settlement of Oia had been specified in different travel reports before the start of Venetian rule, when Marco Sanudo established the Duchy of Naxos in 1207. And primitive marriage was organized on Santorini under the de Corogna family. Agios Niklaos Castle, additionally called Apanomeria, was one of 5 nearby strongholds. Its private keep, Gulas, is presently in the most seasoned piece of the town, on its southwestern edge. Since the 2011 nearby government change, it has been a piece of the region of Santorini, of which it is a civil unit. It covers the entire island of Thracia, and the northwesternmost part of Santorini, which it imparts to the metropolitan unit of Santorini. The fundamental road is named Nicolaou Nomikou. Oia is a beautiful town on the northwest edge of the Santorini island inside the Cyclades. Oia epitomizes the white painted places of the Cyclades, much of the time incorporated specifically with specialties, which are buckle houses utilized by group of the boats on the lip of the volcanic cavity, between which are restricted back streets and blue-roofed chapels with vaults. Bora Bora. Bora Bora is a 30.55 square kilometers, 12 square miles, island group within the Leeward Group, in the western part of the Society Islands of French Polynesia, an overseas collectivity of France in the Pacific Ocean. The primary island, placed approximately 230 kilometers, 143 miles, northwest of Papeete, is surrounded by a lagoon and a barrier reef. In the middle of the island are the remnants of an extinct volcano rising 2 peaks, Mount Pegia and Mount Haut Manu. The highest point at 727 meters, 2,385 feet. In ancient times the island was known as Pora Pora Mayite Pora, which means created by the gods in the local Tahitian dialect, because of ambiguities in the phonemes of the Tahitian language. This could additionally be pronounced Bola Bola, or Bora Bora. The island's economy is driven nearly solely through tourism. Numerous resorts have been constructed on Motu, small islands, from Tahitian, surrounding the lagoon. Hotel Bora Bora opened in 1961, and 9 years later constructed the first over-the-water bungalows on stilts over the lagoon. Most of the tourist destinations are aquacentric, but it is possible to go to sites on land such as World War II cannons. Air Tahiti has 5 or 6 flights every day to the Bora Bora airport. on Motu from Tahiti, as well as from different islands. Scuba diving and snorkeling are famous activities around the lagoon of Bora Bora. Many species of sharks and rays inhabit the surrounding body of water. Rome. Rome is the capital of Italy and a special commune. Rome additionally serves as the capital of the Lazio region. With 2,877,215 citizens in 1,285 square kilometers, 496.1 square mi. It's also the country's most populated commune. Rome has the repute of a global town. Rome ranked in 2016 as the 13th most visited city inside the international, third most visited within the EU Union, and the most famous visitor attraction in Italy. Its historic center is listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Rome is a town famous for its several fountains, built in all exclusive styles, from classical and medieval to Baroque and neoclassical. The city has had fountains for more than 2,000 years, and they have supplied consuming water and adorned the piazzas of Rome. Rome nowadays is one of the most vital visitor locations of the world, because of the incalculable immensity of its archaeological and artistic treasures, as well as for the attraction of its particular traditions, the beauty of its panoramic views, and the majesty of its wonderful villas, parks. Most of the maximum massive resources are the numerous museums, Musei Capitolini, the Vatican Museums and the Galleria Borghese, and others committed to trendy and current artwork. Aqueducts, fountains, churches, palaces, ancient buildings, the monuments and ruins of the Roman discussion board, and the catacombs. Rome is the third most visited city in the EU, after London and Paris, and gets a median of 7-10 million tourists in 12 months, which occasionally doubles on holy years. The Colosseum, 4 million tourists, and the Vatican Museums, 4.2 million vacationers, are in the 39th and 37th, respectively, most visited places in the world, according to a recent study. Florence. Florence is the capital city of the Italian area of Tuscany. It is the most populous town in Tuscany. Florence is a vital town in Italian fashion, being ranked within the top 15 fashion capitals of the world. The town attracts millions of travelers every year, and the historical center of Florence was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1982. Florence originated as a Roman city, and later, after a long duration as a flourishing trading and banking medieval commune. It was the birthplace of the Italian Renaissance. Florence is called the cradle of the Renaissance for its monuments, churches, and buildings. The excellent known site of Florence is the domed cathedral of the town, Santa Maria del Foco del Duomo, whose dome was constructed through Filippo Brunelleschi. Tourism is the enormous industry in central Florence. From April to October, vacationers outnumber local population. Tickets to the Uffizi and Academia museums are frequently sold out, and huge groups frequently fill the basilicas of Santa Croce and Santa Maria Novella, each of which charges for entry. Florence is thought to have the best attention of art, in proportion to its size, in the world. Therefore, cultural tourism is specifically strong, with world-renowned museums, such as the Uffizi selling over 1.93 million tickets in 2014. Amalfi Coast, Italy. The Amalfi Coast is an extent of coastline at the southern shore of the Salerno Gulf on the Tyrrhenian Sea, situated inside the province of Salerno of southern Italy. The Amalfi Coast is a famous visitor goal for the area and Italy as a whole, drawing in stacks of explorers yearly. In 1997, the Amalfi Coast changed into listed as an UNESCO Worldwide Chronicled Past Site. In centuries of 10 to 11, the Duchy of Amalfi existed on the domain of the Amalfi Coast. focused in the city of Amalfi. The Amalfi Drift was later controlled through the Principality of Salerno, till Amalfi changed into Sact by means of the Republic of Pisa in 1137. The Amalfi Coast is a prominent goal among vacationers. It was highlighted in Positano, a short story composed with the guide of American essayist John Steinbeck, in 1953. It turned out to be additionally the putting in Finding Positano, a love story, composed by means of writer William James in 2010. The Amalfi Coast additionally fills in as a putting for anecdotal tracks inside the Forza Motorsport 3, Forza Motorsport 4, and Gran Turismo 4. Quebec City, Canada. Quebec City is the capital city of the Canadian province. The metropolis had a populace estimate of 531,902 on July 2016. And the metropolitan region had a populace of 800,296 on July 2016, making it Canada's 7th largest metropolitan area, and Quebec's 2nd largest town after Montreal. The city's landmarks consist of the Chateau Frontenac, a hotel which dominates the skyline, and La Citadelle, an intact fortress that forms the centerpiece of the ramparts surrounding the old town. Travelers and citizens are attracted by some of the famous events. The Quebec Winter Carnival, Sea Winter Festivals, which has been held each February since 1954. The Quebec City International Summer Festival every July. Quebec City is home to over 100 parks and gardens, which give certain attractions like bird watching, hiking or canoeing for tourists. One of the most superb is the Battlefields Park, that is home to 50 historical artillery pieces, and the Plains of Abraham,